time for another load of old bollocks, and this time it's WWF Wrestlemania Challenge on the NES. Now we'll start off with the publishers of this game, LJN. Now I'm not going to badmouth the game just because it's published by LJN, because I don't know if you know this or not, but LJN used to pay game developers to develop games for them, and they were responsible for the publishing, and obviously different developers were responsible for, you know, the development of the game depending on what game it was. Some like Bits, I know, made a lot of games for them, but this was actually made by Rare. That's right, Rare, that Rare, and I'm going to badmouth it, so I feel really bad. In fact, it's the only Rare game I feel like I can say is a load of old bollocks, because we all know what amazing things they did on the Super Nintendo and N64. I mean, it doesn't need saying. Rare were just an amazing company in the 1990s, and I was surprised to find out that this game was made by them. Now, it's not all bad. You get a great roster of wrestlers, so you know, you get Hulk Hogan, Macho King, Randy Savage, Big Boss Man, Ultimate Warrior, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, Razor Ramon, and there's loads more. There's even a guy that's called Yourself, and basically you use him to play this Survivor Series mode where you've got to, you know, win the title and then defend it. But the game really falls apart as far as gameplay goes. As you can see, it's presented in this kind of isometric view, which on first glance doesn't really look like a bad thing. You think, you know, that's probably the sensible way to make an 8-bit wrestling game, but as you know, with a lot of isometric view games on the NES, you only get 4 ways of movement. You know, your left, right, up and down. So diagonal, you can't really move diagonally, and it makes executing some of the special moves, or even some of the simpler moves like the drop kick, just not so much about skill but more about luck, and if you've just managed to luckily line up the shot. And I can't get away with it. It's got really bad controls, and there's no real like fluidness to how the combat plays out. It's kind of just punch, 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 try and do a move, and you might go off the ropes, and then there's no just like, you know, one move doesn't lead into another. It's very stale and just not a fun experience. I get very frustrated with it, and even as a kid I did as well. And this suffers from the same thing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game did, where surely the new kids were going to play this game, obviously, but they made it so difficult that, you know, it was just going to absolutely ruin any kid that played its childhood. So I couldn't get away with it as a kid, and I really can't now. And I don't know if this is going to be a controversial one. I'm really interested to find out what people think about this game, because I think it's a load of old bollocks, and I can't get away with it. I mean, you know, I didn't go nuts in the comment section ripping us apart. It's just my opinion, do you know what I mean? But I can't get away with it, and yeah, there's just no fluidity to the combat, and yeah, just bad overall. So that's WWF Wrestlemania Challenge on NES. It's a load of old bollocks. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, people. I'll leave us like I always do, and you know, just say if you've enjoyed what you've seen, hit that like button, leave us a comment. I love some feedback, and if you enjoyed it in particular, hit that subscribe button. You can follow us on Twitter at Mongoose on a uni as well. And that's it, so hopefully I'll catch you next time, people. Bye.